What's up, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the series for the Arc Dev Kit. In this episode, we're going to be going over how to make a resource. This could be any resource. It can be used for making new currency. It can be used for making different new minerals. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just pretty much making a new item that's able to be crafted in the game. So we're going to get right into that, and to get started, we're just going to kind of, if you guys remember when we left off last, we had just saved our game mode. So at this point, I wanted to leave it at this point because this is what you would have seen if you had left off at the last episode, and you might not know what to do now. So I thought I'd show you. So if you go up to File, you go to... Look, I made a mistake. File, Open Level, not New Level. And then you go to Test Map, it'll just load that one back up. This is the one you need to be in most of the time. You're not really going to ever load it. See, told you about the errors in the last video, I think. So, this is nice and easy. We're not going to make this super complicated. People think that this shit is complicated. So, what you want to do is I'm going to show some simple methods to make it so that something that you may think is complicated isn't as complicated as you think. You just haven't expected it to be simplified in the dev kit. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to type in stone, because stone is a resource. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to filters, and we're going to go to blueprints, because see, stone is going to be some sort of a blueprint. Now if I type in underscore resource, it isn't anything. So at this point we need to find out what it is labeled under. And if we go into here, we might just find one that's even better. So primal item resource keratin. Okay, so this is nothing of value. You understand what I mean? Like, this has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that it's just an item that spawns into the world. So we're going to take this, it's the primal item resource keratin. It can be the keratin spike, it can be the horn, it can be the gasoline, it doesn't matter. Because none of that stuff is going to be utilized after you've created a new blueprint. So what you're going to do is drag that file onto our folder, whatever your folder is, it doesn't really matter. You're going to want to say copy here because you definitely do not want to move something from the core game files to your file because it will screw everything else up. So at this point we also need an engram. If you type in engram with the blueprint ticked for this, you will find all kinds of different engrams, but once again, these do not matter which ones you use. You can use the forge, you can use the forge, you can use the forge my mod, whatever. You're just utilizing the engram, and we're going to copy that in there. Sometimes it takes a little time to be able to bring these in. They take a little bit of time sometimes to copy. For the engram, we're going to want to rename that to, how about, we'll just make silver. We're going to make a silver, just to have a new resource in the game, since silver isn't really in the game. That's the engram. So if we go over to primal item, we're just going to get rid of that. We're just going to type in silver. Makes it simple, by the way, to start cleaning up where you're putting everything. If you notice, it says primal item resource silver now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new folder. We're going to name this silver. We're going to take and we're going to move. This is the one time I'm going to tell you to move it into this folder. From now on, I want you guys to constantly make new folders. This is the first time I've shown you, and I want you to do this every time. So if you see you are making something new, put it in a folder. Try and only have these 3 files on the main directory file of your mod. We're going to go into where it says silver. We're going to go into engram. For this demonstration, we're going to leave it at 0. And then we're going to also click the primal item resource silver. We're going to go to the arrow. And we're also going to click the give blueprint to player inventory because we want it to show up when you So if you unlock the engram, you want it to show up in the inventory. If you necessarily don't want it and you want it hidden, you uncheck this. If you set this to arc prime, it will work with every arc version. If you put it to scorched earth, it won't work on prime. So, to be honest, like, unless you're only making a mod for scorched, always have it on prime. You're going to want to strict compile, and you're going to want to save. This right now is linked to this. So if we open this, this is the actual primal item resource. All the files in here don't matter, okay? This is just a resource. It's a useless resource. It's just an item that you could use for currency. It's just an item you could use for anything else. There's a lot of different things that you can do in here that I will go over in advanced tutorials, but in this one, we're literally just making a useless item. But it will be still able to be utilized, and you can use it in different recipes. That is the key point. You can use this item to make other things. We're going to type in description, and this is where you're going to see the actual item description. If you just type descript, it will give you both of these two. So what we're going to do is we're just going to name it silver. You can name yours whatever you're naming it. For the description, we're just going to say a valuable item found made by magic. I don't know, something stupid. Okay, we're gonna go into the filters again. You're gonna use this filter thing a lot, just to make it so you don't have to deal with other crap. Now, I'm just gonna go in and go over something right away, just so you can see it. This is the icon. If you type in icon, you're gonna see item icon. We're gonna we need to find something to work with. So for the icon, I'm thinking we can find some sort of rock, maybe. Type in stone, maybe. Will that work? No, that's definitely not gonna work. Metal, maybe? Icons. Pretty much, we're just trying to find something that would look like silver, if you were to get it. Let's see, stone. There we go, that'll work. But see, I don't really like how that looks. It doesn't look the part for silver. So if you click this magnifying glass, it'll find it in the web browser. Or the browser, sorry myself. We're going to take that and we're going to drag that into our silver folder, and we're going to copy. I'm going to rename this just with the name of our mod at the end of it. You kind of want to name everything to keep it organized. We're going to double click that icon. We're going to scroll down. We're going to go over to where it says saturation. I'm going to bump that up to 3. Okay, I'm going to give you a heads up. When you click this, it sometimes takes a minute. If it doesn't look like it takes a minute, it's going to. So, for this necessarily, though, we need it to be silver. You know what I mean? But it needs to be a little darker, so we're going to bring down the brightness. We need to make it somewhat a little different. If you change the hue, it will change the color of it. So if you change it to, say, 300 with a saturation of 2, it's purple. How about this? We're just going to make it purple, just to be a smartass. So if we go back into our primal item resource, we can now change the icon to that one. See? The purple one, even though it says silver. It's great. We're going to now type in REQ and scroll down. until you see base crafting resource requirements. You're going to want to click as many resources as you say want it to cost. Like, I'm just going to leave it as 1. You're going to want to click none. Sometimes this takes a minute. It looks like it freezes up. It's not frozen up. It just takes a minute. You just let it do its thing. You go find yourself blunt. You go do something in between. Because obviously, it's going to take a second. What we're going to do, just for the basics of understanding how this system works, we're just going to make it so it costs you stone. Just a primal item resource stone. And we're going to say it costs 10, because you get that automatically in the dev kit. So if you're working in resources, just set it to like 10 metal, 1 metal, like, don't set it to 0. Never put this to 0, because it'll once you click to craft it, it's just going to crap out. Like, your whole dev kit. You'll have to restart. Deal with the loading screen again. So that means don't do it. So we're going to click strict compile and save. Now this is set up, but it's not going to do anything in your mod. We're going to want to go into primal game data. We're going to want to double click that. We're going to want to go to additional engrams. Do not put anything in this engram blueprint classes, because you're just going to screw everything up. Like, it'll make it so it's not stackable. Like, you don't want to do that. So we're going to go into additional engram blueprint classes. We're going to add one. We're going to go down to silver. We're going to go to the engram. We're going to click the arrow. It puts the engram in there. We're going to go to strict compile and save. It takes a little bit sometimes to save in the primal game data. Now, since this is our first real mod that we've made in this series so far, we're going to have to set up the primal game data of this test game mode. So you're going to want to go into world settings of the test game mode, not the black screen one. So you're going to want to find where the primal game data set up. See, it's on none right now. We're going to go to ours. We're going to click that one. We're going to go to click save all, because you always want to save everything. Like, this dev kit likes to crash, so you might be testing something and it might just crash out on you. You don't want to have that. I apologize for the time it takes sometimes to do things in this. Like, I'm about to have to test the game mode, so just to show you that it's working. So we're going to right click. We're going to go to play from here. It's going to play wherever your cursor is, so remember where you're at. Okay, so when you load in, just so you know, you need to click before you can really do much. View engrams, we're going to scroll down. And you see there's a silver. Learn silver. Consumes that. Sorry about how loud this might be. And there's our engram with the description. You double click it. You go in your inventory, scroll down. You got silver. Now, if you notice, we're getting 15 out of that. So we're going to exit out of that. And we're going to go to silver. We're going to go to primal item resource. And we're going to go to quantity. And we're going to change the 15 to a 1. And strict compile. And save. After that point, you have accomplished making a new resource. And it is craftable. You could set the requirements to say you have to have stone and metal and obsidian or something. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked, please smash that like button. In the next episode, I will be going over, let's see, we'll be going over how to make a basic melee tool. So I hope see you guys then. Check you guys later.